Okay, this is pretty much it for resistance training. It's very yoga based. Now, when I kneel down here, I'm curling my toes under, my feet are up behind my back, it's about maybe a hand width between my knees. I go into child pose from yoga, and I just bring myself up and forward. When my solar plexus pass my hands, I come down to the floor and then press back. I don't ever quite touch the floor. This is very good for the rotor cusps of the shoulders, and it's a lot better for you than just a linear movement of a push-up. Then doing the same thing coming forward, I start low, my forearms are on the floor. As I come past my hands, I press up, and then into downward dog. Hips on the floor, back is arched. Hold that for a few seconds. These movements are diagonal, coming from the heel of one side across to the hand of the other, and then straight back to the heel again. And I'm doing 3 reps of each of these, and that's actually pretty good to start with. Then you can build yourself up to about 5. And 2 more reps, and then back into child pose again. Kind of stretch the back out, relax down. These ellipses, pretty self-explanatory. We bring the solar plexus past the hands, and we do 3 ellipse-type circles. Again, very good for the rotor cusps of the shoulders. We're more about flexibility than raw strength. And then the other direction, of course, balance the body. And down dog. Pressing back in the child pose, stretch out the back again, and relax. Breathing deeply and constantly through that whole exchange of exercises. This next set of exercises doesn't look like much. It's very good for stretching the hip flexors. Our feet are laid on the inside edge, and the heels are close together, and the buttocks is actually below the knees. You can see that in this, I'm not sure. And what I'm doing here is I'm just using the floor as a resistance, and I'm pulling one side of my hips down towards the floor, stretching the hip flexor, and then working the other side. So there's not much movement here to explain, but it's a constant pressure. And on a scale of 1 to 10 for discomfort, we're shooting for about a 4. This little movement here we call the happy dog. It's just basically shaking your hips from side to side and causing the knees to move out a little further along the floor. Then again we press down, pressing the hips down towards the floor, one side then the other, opening the hips up, and then shaking so the knees move. Again, using the floor for resistance, we press down, and the other side, pressing the hip down towards the floor, using the floor against the knee as resistance. This is called the happier dog or the bad dog. Again, it's just to shake the knees apart, and again. Now, this is about as close as we come to a push-up, and it's actually to further stretch the legs apart, rocking back and forth on the knees. You notice the feet travel up as the body travels down. That's to maintain that, butt to knee ratio, if you like. And then just stretch it out one last time, and shake it out one last time. Now, it's a really intensive stretch actually, so you will want to kind of shake it out. I do a few hip rotations and just kind of shake out the legs again. It's good for loosening the hips up. Your hips and shoulders are your main joints in your body, and they do collect a lot of, for lack of a better word, a lot of gunk in the joints. And these exercises really open them up, and they allow what's called synovial fluid to get into them and clean them out. It's pretty good stuff. Now this is core strengthening and flexibility. It's just a yogic style bridge. So we roll up onto the shoulders, press back. When we hit that point where it's the the tightest, and we just tense the back muscles up and then relax and press that last little bit further. If you tense them for 10 to 20 seconds, that's lots. And just walk it down, one vertebrae at a time, down to the floor. Bring the knee up to the chest, extend the leg, and then using the lower back and stomach tight, we lower it to the floor. We don't ever want our lower back to come off the floor, because then that will actually weaken our back instead of strengthen it. And down. And we do about 5 reps of this, And that's pretty much it for our strength program. It's more core strength than it is anything else. It's not body shaping.